I'm from Kbal Romeas. I'm from Ponorng indigenous group in Sesan district, Steng Train province. We are affected people due to Sesan 2 dam hydropower dam development project. I am Bun Rươn. I would like to share with you the problems we faced, environmental impacts include when the dams are built. We have floods, flash floods. It pollutes our water. People cannot access the water for use. Biodiversity, including fish, are gone. Villages, houses, farmland, rotational farmland, and other property and assets have gone.
Okay, thank you for sharing with us. Yeah, we can hear
Good
you.
afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah. Good afternoon. I would like to continue from Bun Rươn. In our community of Kbal Romeas village, based in Steng Train province, when the dams are built, once the construction is completed, many people were affected. We have lost our forest. Almost 80% of the forests are gone. It is a huge loss. Water pollution is the same, is at the same rate because the natural rivers is closed. When the dam is built, the water doesn't flow. No water flow. The water is polluted. The life of the people living in the community is terrible because they do not have clean water to use and drink. The water is dirty and polluted. The forests are gone. Naturally, the forests are abundant in biodiversity. There are conservation areas. There are wildlife conservation areas. There are fish habitats conservation area. When the dam is built, some species of forest are gone, and the conservation pools in the rivers are also dried, and those fish died. Wildlife are also gone. We in the forest, wild animals run away when floods come to destroy the forest, and those wild animals cannot stay because they are afraid of water. They migrate to other places, and some of them are extinct. Some animals can live on land and river. Some of them can stay, and some hunters also do animal hunting. They want to eat wild animal fish, and they want to do it for commercialization, for trade. And the people have lost their rice fields. They have lost their property and assets. Livestock is also affected. When the hydropower dam is built, some people cannot take away their property and assets to high grounds in time. Some people lack means of transportation, so they abandon or they leave their property and assets behind. They cannot bring them to the high grounds on time, so they have lost all assets. In addition to this, the land belonging to indigenous community is under conflict with the company. This conflict is going on for a long time now. Since 2011, it remains unsolved. There is no resolution to this conflict up to now. In 2020, the company set up boundary posts in the community land because they need the land to grow rubber and other crops. So the community has conflict with these people because they encroach on their land, and the livelihoods of families in the community are also affected. And before the dam was built, their sanitation and health were good, but after it was built, the water was polluted. They got sick, they had illnesses, they live far away from hospital. They could not access the health care service in time. Children have lost education. They cannot go to school. They cannot continue their study because the schools are destroyed. They forcibly have to leave school and drop out. So indigenous community in Romeas village of Stang Traing province does not have sufficient education. They complete at grade 1, 2, 3, or 4 at primary level. In 2021, there is no school for them to attend. For our tradition and culture, we have seen a lot of impacts. Our Ponorng indigenous community worships our traditional rituals and ceremonies. Every year we clean the tombs, graves, and make offerings at the graveyards. And due to rain and climate change and the impacts from the dam, their graveyard is flooded. They cannot worship them anymore. Spirit forests are also gone. Their livelihoods are lost. They have no income. In the past, they collected rations and NTFPs, non-timber forest products. But when the flood comes, they have lost their incomes. They cannot access the forest to collect ration anymore. They cannot generate income. They cannot provide for their family and kids. Their daily life is so terrible now. Their children cannot attend school. They cannot even complete grade 6, which is the last grade for primary education. They complete only grade 1, 2, 3, or 4 due to poverty and difficulty. At the same time, children, boys and girls, now return to school gradually, but they do not have full attendance in class. The public service system is poor. Road is very difficult to access and travel. This is why we say that hydropower dam construction causes a lot of difficulties and hardships for the communities. Our paddy and farmland, about 90% of them have gone. Our house are submerged underwater. Some houses are underwater. Only a couple of houses are not inundated. They move from the village to high grounds, but some of them do not want to leave the village. Some people leave the village, move to other places, so they separate from each other. Some people think that they have relied on forest for their life. Now that they have to move, they don't want to go away from the village, but they separate from their families. And some people, due to some because the company or local authority get them or persuade them to leave the village, they do, but they have to go to other places and they separate from their families because those people do not go away from the village. So when there is flood, some people do illegal fishing. People, they use electric gears, fishing gears. They and some people like Cham ethnic group, they pollute the water. They urinate and defecate on the water. They do not think about the environment.
Wong Pui Yi want to ask, so what's the purpose of the dam? To manage the water or for electricity?
In this regard, I would like to answer Sesan 2 hydropower dams are built aiming to provide and supply electricity for the people, but it has a lot of impacts on the local communities. So their energy supply is not supported by social and environmental impact assessment studies. They did not consult with local people about the dam construction. As a result, the dam construction has brought a lot of impacts on local communities.